Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. So tonight I want to talk about what's holding Bitcoin back. Is it this one particular thing or is it something else? Well, let's discuss. And I have special guests with me tonight. Altcoin Daily. I have Aaron and Austin. They're going to be joining me tonight. And we're going to talk about this one thing that may be holding Bitcoin back or maybe not, and other various cool topics. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tune in every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And make sure you follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, cryptosareus.com, and maybe OnlyFans. All right, let's do this. Let me bring in everyone. Welcome, Austin, Aaron. How are you guys doing tonight?
Awesome to be here. I am George. Aaron is George. We are all George tonight.
Awesome. What is up, George, man? Fan of yours since 2018 when we started our channel. Great to be on an official Cryptos Are Us stream.
I'm really glad we could finally do this after we've all lived through crypto winter, which was brutal. But now things are much better. So, before I get started, tonight's stream is brought to you by White Claw, my newest sponsor. So I'm going to be having this during the stream. I don't know about you guys. Yes, we all got a drink.
Sponsored by June Shine.
All right.
By the way, in the chat, anybody in the chat, let us know what you're drinking tonight. We'll be looking. We'll see what people are drinking.
Hey, do you have a Rolex on?
All right, so George, getting right into it. Obviously referencing that BitBoy Around the Blockchain stream the other day with Richard Hart. That was a crazy one, right? No, I don't have a Rolex on. And, I take offense to you saying, you said like everybody was like, just like bragging about how much money they made. When Richard brought that up saying like, hey, we're all rich, I laughed because I thought Richard was talking about himself, dude.
What was it? I thought TJ actually said it. I didn't know if Richard said it.
It was Richard, and that's why I said that. I said like Louis Vuitton Don, like to be like, haha, yeah, of course you're a rich guy. But it was yeah, man, that was a crazy stream. We're all just trying to get along and like get some good discussion. Didn't go as planned, but yeah, crazy times.
It was crazy. It was crazy. But let's get past it. First, I want to showcase this for everyone because I don't think everyone knows that you guys are real big hotshots in Hollywood here. So this is one of my favorite shows, Bosch. I had no idea, Austin, that you were in this show. I binge watched this like all of last year. I had no idea, but you're obviously in this and other shows. But let me play this real quick for the audience.
Not hearing anything. We didn't hear or see any of that.
Oh, you're playing the whole reel, dude.
Yeah, I'm just playing this reel to kind of give you an overview. Okay. And sorry, Aaron, I don't have a reel like this for you.
You didn't take the time to find my stuff. That's okay, but I don't think the audience saw that, dude. I think
it didn't show.
No, it didn't show.
It didn't. Oh, hey, I'm gonna have to redo this, guys. Sorry. You could tell I don't do a lot of interviews here.
There we go. I can see it now. Well, we can't hear it, but we can see it, so good enough.
All right. Well, people get the point if they could see it.
Yes. Also, Austin and I earlier this year were on the Fox show 911 Lone Star. Played a couple of twins on that show.
Is 911 on Fox?
On Fox.
On Fox with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Well, this one's the spinoff with Rob Lowe, set in Texas. So it's a 911 Lone Star. And you know, creating YouTube videos, trying to get mass adoption through our daily videos, that's fine. Aaron and I are trying to go a little bit beyond that and spread it in the general media of our country.
So how, I mean, just briefly, can you guys just tell us about how you guys got into acting, first of all, and then how did you transition to doing both now with crypto updates and crypto news while still, you know, acting and writing and producing?
Well, here's the thing, man. If you're not going to work hard between when you're 25 and 35, when are you going to work hard, right?
Yes, I guess so.
That explains how we got into acting.
No. Well, I was just saying how we do all of it. I don't know. We went to college for acting and marketing, and we graduated college, moved out to Los Angeles, pounded the pavement. We're SAG actors, you know, we're in the union. And, you know, general filmmakers, we, produce our own short films, some of them award winners. And we've been in a lot of big commercials together as twins because they book twins a lot. And, feature film and all kinds of stuff. And then, you know, regarding crypto, I mean, the thing is, it was back in 2017-ish. And at the time, me and my ex-girlfriend broke up. And all of a sudden, I had like way more free time than normal. And I was like, damn, I need to get like a hobby to like be able to like monetize. And I was like, oh, I always, you know, wanted to be a YouTuber. And I had a general interest in cryptocurrency. And I saw some of the YouTubers in like 2017. And I was like, oh, they're pretty good. I think I can do it better than, you know, some of these guys. Some of these guys are really good. And, you know, those guys have kind of lasted. Just generally speaking, days doing acting stuff, nights doing crypto stuff. And Austin, go ahead.
I mean, for me, plain and simple, started out with a passion for filmmaking, acting, got bit by the cryptocurrency bug. And now Aaron and I are both driving full steam ahead on both passions. Because it's so interesting how people say this all the time, but how early we are in the cryptocurrency space.
Right.
So for me, I try and encourage, you know, everybody that has a little bit of a passion, go full crypto when you can. If that's your passion, why not? It's early. It's like the early internet days, but with cryptocurrency.
Yeah, but that's interesting. Like, how does a newcomer in the space develop that passion, though?
I think everybody, the cool thing about crypto in my mind is everybody started out in 2009 on the same playing field, meaning like when I looked at the stock market, you know, I was coming up in college and high school. I just assumed like, man, it's probably rigged. I don't understand this. But cryptocurrency, man, I didn't understand that when I first learned about it either. But I was like, oh, everybody's on the same page here. And if mass adoption is to happen, surely I can figure it out. So I would find, whether you're a developer, whether you're a content creator, whatever your little niche is and you like crypto, that's where I would start.
Yeah, if you're asking how does somebody develop the passion, that's something we can't help you with. You got to have the passion first, and then we can help you. We can give you tips on how to create a YouTube channel or how to do research in cryptocurrency. But the passion's got to come from you. You know, nobody can tell you to work every day.
Yeah, I guess where I was going with that is with the videos that you guys produce, is there some secret formula that you guys have that caters to that or develops that passion as people get in and watch? Is there some kind of secret sauce that you guys have?
Hey, listen, you got, make content that you'd be interested in and be very cognizant of the viewer. You know, there's plenty of crypto YouTubers who say, this is the content I'm making, and if you don't like it, you're the idiot. That's not how I feel. I just go, I want to make content that people find valuable, that people get value in. And I want to do that. Plus, hold people's attention. I'm not here to waste people's time. So if you can find a nice balance between providing value and also still, creating something that people want to watch, that's really the key. And to do that, you have to have the viewer's point of view in mind, in my opinion.
Ditto.
Okay. Well, let's jump right in. Let's talk about this.
Somebody did a super chat saying, I'd love to get our opinion on your portfolio or something, the perfect crypto portfolio, something like that.
All right, let me see. You guys are actually reading the super chats more than me, huh?
Hey, we're here to talk to the people, George. We want to talk to all the Georges in the audience.
Could we get Altcoin Daily's opinion on portfolio created? Yeah, well, let's do that. So I created, I don't know if you guys are aware, I created a portfolio.
You have an account on CoinMarketCap?
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very chill.
This is just like a fake portfolio. It's,
yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I created this maybe a few weeks ago. So I
looks like it's doing well.
Yeah, well, I started with 5,000. I DCA'd. I bought in $100 the last 2 weeks. So actually 5,200. So it's barely above, but still, it's only been about 2 to 3 weeks. And I stuck with my rule, 50, 25, 25. I put in 5,000 because I'm thinking new people come into this space. They're not going to just plop down 50,000 or 100,000, right? Realistically, most people coming in, even 1 to 2,000 is a lot from their savings. But I put in 5,000 and I said, hey, I'm going to just keep adding to this every single week and see how well it does by the end of the year. So this is my breakup. Actually, you know what?
You're a Doge guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So here we go. So
you got when Elon Musk went on SNL.
Cardano, VeChain, Solana, Chainlink, Polygon, Binance Coin, Theta, Cosmos, Dogecoin, Decentraland, and B Pro. What do you guys think?
I mean, you know, you don't have any low cap scammy gems. So, I mean, like, will these coins be here in a year? Yes, they will. Like, the only question is, will they gain value? Which obviously a lot of them look good. Austin, you go first.
I mean, honestly, there's a lot of coins I like. There's a lot of coins we talk about all the time on our channel. We've been talking about, I mean, everybody's been talking about Chainlink forever, but also in the last 6 months, Polygon, Solana, Cardano, obviously huge this cycle. I would say this looks great. I think the most important thing is this portfolio works for you because you can understand the value prop of what these cryptocurrencies are trying to achieve. That, to me, that's number one. Understand, before you invest, understand your investor's thesis or understand why something potentially has value, and understand it before you put your money in it. So to me, I mean, this looks good.
Like the thing is, when people ask, and by the way, I'm curious to know in the chat, what are the main coins in your portfolio and see how they compare. But like, you know, obviously everybody always wants to know, what should I invest in? What are you investing in? And obviously, you know, the reason we're not giving financial advice is because it totally depends on your situation and your tolerance for risk. And it really depends on, a lot of my friends are casual cryptocurrency investors, in which case what I like to tell them, and what they mainly do, I think, is like majority Bitcoin and ETH, and maybe a couple others, because they don't want to watch the market every day like we do. We enjoy like looking at the market every day. So we like take on more risk. And actually your portfolio right there is even like a, you know, relatively conservative, you know, one for somebody who follows the market every day, I think. I mean, the thing is, and once you, like, you have plenty of coins there, and every coin you add is really like you're increasing your risk, but like you have a lot of good ones. So like I don't see any like low cap gems or anything, because they're all like high cap, you know, relatively good coins, except B Pro and Dogecoin. I mean,
like it's not even a low cap. I mean, it's a freaking big cap.
It's a big cap, but it's not like it's only like good in a bull market.
Right.
But you know, somebody, Joe in the chat, tipped $5, says, Altcoin Daily, I give you credit. You really were the only one who didn't let Richard completely push them around. My main coins are ETH, ADA, Sol, and Uni. Joe, we salute you. So,
dude, sometimes when you talk, it sounds like you're being sarcastic. Do you really salute Joe? Do you like Joe?
Yeah,
just making sure.
I don't know.
I knew you meant it. I just wanted Joe.
I don't mean to come off as flippant. No, I appreciate it. But, you know, like for me personally, like I like get into a few like lower cap ones that I basically have to manage on a daily basis, because I'm always looking to like, when can I realize profits? But for ones that you're going to hold for the cycle, generally I like that portfolio. I wouldn't, you know, add like Doge or B Pro, but I don't have any Cosmos, although I recognize it's, you know, fundamentally like a quality platform. And yeah.
So what you mentioned, low caps, you know, I was going to say this afterwards, but why don't we just jump into it? What are some of the low caps that you guys like?
Okay. Appreciate you, Cal, in the chat, tipped $10. To Aaron, I'm not going to get it, but I appreciate you. My portfolio is Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, DOT, BNB, Cake, Luna. You guys are amazing. I salute you sincerely. Is that good, Austin?
Thank you. I felt that.
Here's the thing. I mean, like if I were to talk about low caps that I'm in right now, I wouldn't want anybody to get these because they're literally just bags I'm holding. And, this is basically just me shilling my own bags at this point. But
you don't have to name all of them, but like what's a one or two that you're holding, like you said, but you really believe in?
Okay. I'll name one first, and Aaron can go. One, and we've mentioned this on the channel before. For me personally, I like to invest in sort of, I don't know what you would call it, verticals or different, walls or verticals, meaning like DeFi is the biggest one. Then you have NFTs. Then you have all these different, obviously you can see value in these demographics, these verticals, but the question is, okay, what's going to make it in the end? So like social tokens is an example of one. Aaron and I both have some XCAD. We disclosed that. It's been several weeks by now, but I don't know if Rally is going to make it or Socios. I think that's on Chili's, or XCAD. But to me, it seems like social tokens are here to stay. So, and the
reason we liked XCAD and wanted to invest in it was because they like had all these other, like they're partnering with all these like big YouTubers who weren't in crypto, like Mr. Beast and like a bunch of other people. So once again, not financial advice, just shilling my own bags. So like that one. I also like, this is a new one, and it's dumped since it launched. It's Mina protocol, and it uses ZK snarks. So it's like very different from, like it's so early on. It's like, people today, I don't even know why you would buy it because they're just so long in the roadmap that has to go. But like, I really liked, it has a bunch of like, we see these coins all the time that have VC money behind it. And there are some VC companies that are like better than others. I think it was like 3 Arrow Capital that got involved in this one that kind of piqued my interest. And
well, you can see Coinbase is also invested in it.
Oh yeah, Coinbase Ventures. We actually interviewed one of the devs on this on our channel, and we're like, hey, does that mean Coinbase is going to list you? And the guy basically, he wouldn't tell us, but he was like, and he didn't know, but he was just like, I hope. But anyway, if you looked into like Mina protocol, it's basically the value prop. What they tell you is that the blockchain is going to stay at like 22 kilobytes.
Yes, the size of a few tweets.
It's like 10 kilobytes or something like that.
It's actually less, but they advertise it at like 22 kilobytes. Yeah, 22 kilobytes forever because it uses ZK snarks, which is something that they're bringing onto Ethereum, and a lot of projects are using now. But like this, like Mina protocol is like just so different from everything else, and it's backed by so much like big money and people in the space. I have faith that it's going to be here in a number of years, and it's so different. That's why it's interesting to me.
The only thing about Mina is I did some research because people have asked me about it too. I mean, from my understanding, I'm not a developer, so I can't get too technical. But the reason why they can have such
you're gonna say the Google spreadsheets, right?
No.
Okay, what are you gonna say?
The reason why they can have such a small size for a blockchain is because they basically take snapshots and they don't really archive all the previous data.
That's true.
And from my understanding, that's kind of like a security risk that you don't have the entire blockchain storing all the information. And also they can't scale. Supposedly this is super slow right now, like 20 transactions per second or something like that. So
and
it's two things.
And that doesn't even have any like major things coming up anytime soon. So yeah, like once again, I'm not saying the project's perfect, but I'm just saying these are a couple low caps that I hold.
Interesting. Well, you mentioned Rally too. I'm partnered up with them on Georgecoin, but I haven't done a whole lot. But I think they're also pretty interesting in terms of
what is Georgecoin?
Yeah, tell me.
You don't know about Georgecoin?
Well, let me grab a drink real quick, and I'll be right back.
No, it's just it's a coin I created. It was supposed to be engagement coin, but I haven't done much with it, honestly. Like it blew up right when it got listed, and then like people were buying it before I even announced it. I think there's traders on Rally just to buy new coins, and then they kind of like trade it before it even gets announced. But I haven't done a lot with it. But I like their premise. It's just really easy to create a coin, and they're getting into NFTs too. So I like that project. It's also very low cap as well.
And just as an example, what's one piece of value like the audience may get? Is it merchandise? Is it like what would they get for having Georgecoin?
It's up to you. Well, I mean, for me right now, I haven't decided yet.
Wait, is there a ticker we can see? Is there a price chart?
Oh yeah, you could go to.
Hey, cheers, chat. Here's to you. So this rally is to create social tokens. Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically. There you
Look
go.
at this guy. I do business with this guy.
He's trustworthy. So all creator tokens is based on, it's pegged to their rally token. So depending on how good the rally token is, it does affect your own price. But the more people that buy and hold, they have their own kind of algorithm that determines price.
And the thing is, in the bear market, dude, I thought like, oh, there's no way. I thought like, there's no way, every influencer is going to have their own like social token. But I don't know. Maybe it's because we're in the bull market, or just because I've like started to research more. I kind of feel like that's the way it's going. Where at least in the next 5 years, or at least in this decade, whether it's viable in the long term or not, everybody's going to have a social token.
Yeah, or an NFT or something, right? It just makes sense. I mean, if you have a following like us, anyone with a YouTube channel, anyone with Instagram, TikTok, anything really, if you have a fan base, then it's real obvious that a lot of them will want to buy or hold your NFT or your token. So it just makes a whole lot of sense.
I just want to say in the chat, sorry if I seem smug, not trying to be smug, just trying to enjoy with everybody. But also I want to say that somebody said BitBoy is watching this, saying BitBoy coin incoming.
I would not be surprised. I mean, when I announced it, I thought everyone would, jump in, but I think everyone's doing different things. Like BitBoy teamed up with Theta to do exclusive NFTs, I believe.
You're thinking of Katy Perry.
Yeah, and then Katy Perry too. So there's a question I told you guys when I filmed with you guys about KuCoin token, KCS, which you guys know I do love KuCoin, and they're doing relatively well.
Well, by the way, guys, we recorded a pre-recorded interview with George earlier today that's dropping around Sunday. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hopefully George put the links to our channel in the description.
Yep. Actually forgot, but I will.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. Totally forgot, but I think most people know. Most people watching this know who you guys are, but I will put it.
Can I just say real quick, because I want to talk to the chat, especially in George's audience, because I feel like your audience is so they're used to chatting so pretty cool, level-headed. Somebody says, and this is a good question, how do you guys counter the FUD on your channel? You focus on the positives, but it also comes across as ignoring the reality of the market. This is $10 super chat, so I want to answer it. And I think what he's asking is, how do you, a lot of, sometimes you guys just seem bullish, but if we're in a downtrend, how do you deal with that? And, the thing is, I'm just speaking long-term anyway on my channel, but thing is, you can get FUD from anywhere. Usually the mainstream media will FUD everything. Something we try and do on our channel, and maybe George as well, is kind of say yeah, I know it's easy to be bearish and the sentiment is down in in the times like these, but especially with the quality projects like Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'm still just as bullish. To try and answer that question.
Well, I mean, that's all what we all could do, right? I mean, there's enough FUD out there, but I think part of I hate to say responsibility, but I do kind of feel that way. If you're in the crypto space, right, you have to help people understand, like what you guys said, what you're investing in, right? Build that passion and keep them focused and encourage, right? If you're focusing on all the negatives out there, which is there's plentiful of negative news and FUD out there, it's just go discourage everyone, right? Then what's the point?
And also not just in crypto YouTube, but on all of YouTube in general. I mean, there's an element there. You have to walk the line of clickbaitiness. I mean, that's don't hate the player, hate the game. This is not a problem in crypto YouTube. This is a problem in YouTube and content creation in general. And if you want to be successful, you got to have an enticing title and thumbnail. But you got to watch the video and look past it, because what we try and do on our channel is sometimes we give our opinion often, but it's also just showing you the data. There's plenty of data, on-chain data, that shows people buying or things look bullish. So I hope that answers your question.
All right, it does, and I think let's get through some of this stuff. Okay, we spent half hour on some of these things, but I do want to get to a few main topics, starting with this one. And I believe, Austin, you have something to say about this. This is the main topic I want to bring up today. Is this what's holding Bitcoin back? There's a lot of people that's talking about Grayscale's unlocking this $530 million worth of GBTC that's coming July 16th, I believe. Do you think this has anything to do with what we're seeing right now?
I think it's a distraction. And speaking of, posting bullet, it's definitely it's a viable thing to talk about, but in terms of the price, it's a distraction from, in my opinion, what actually moves the price. And we talk about, covering all bullish news or all bearish news. Our last video, one of our last videos on the channel, covered this GBTC unlock. And basically, for the folks at home, it's when you first, if you're a accredited investor or just a regular investor that buys GBTC, which is Grayscale's Bitcoin trust, you're not actually buying the Bitcoin, you're buying a share in that trust. You have to, it's locked up for 6 months. And in the heat of the excitement in the first half of the year, about 6 months ago, I forget the exact number, but a lot of people bought Grayscale Bitcoin trust, and that 6-month unlock is coming throughout July. So it's happening. In my opinion, it's the same sort of, when you see those headlines like $1.5 billion worth of options are expiring for Ethereum. That was last month. Those news stories aren't the only thing that's, why they're getting so much coverage is because it's a new higher number. But when in reality, options expire every month. In reality, Grayscale shares get unlocked every month. It's a little bit more. So the things that are going to happen are either one, the price dips. To me, that's a buying opportunity. The price stays the same because they unlock. They don't have to sell. And by the way, they're just selling the shares. Grayscale still has the Bitcoin. Or maybe they buy more. I have no clue, but to me, it's sort of a distraction. It's not what's going to move the price. That's my take.
What about you, Aaron? Do you have anything to say about this or about the premium that's in the negative right now?
I think Austin answered it beautifully. I would just add that, I think what people really want to know is does this mean price is going to go down? Does this mean price is going to go up? And I would just pivot off of this and say that there's plenty of not TA metrics, but on-chain metrics. The price could go down a little bit. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the short term, but there's plenty of on-chain metrics that are flashing bottom or flashing bullish that don't do it very often, like 3-4 times in the past 2 years. And anytime, for instance, the Puel multiple, anytime, this is at a level where it's only hit this 3 times in the past 2 years. This is the 4th time, and every single, that was the March 2020 crash. It was every single bottom. And if you would have bought at that time, price just went up after that. There's the SSR, which is the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio. There's the
that one. Yep.
Yeah, Bollinger Bands. It's just stuff that we go over on our channel all the time. I'm sure you talk about it as well. It's just, this isn't looking like this is the top of the whole bull cycle. So, yeah.
I generally agree with you guys. There's a lot of on-chain metrics that show that this is a great buying opportunity. But just to play devil's advocate, do you think, today there's headlines about this, Americans will need to wear masks indoor again as Delta COVID cases is rising, and not just in the US. According to this story, Australia, South Africa, Asia have recently introduced curfew and other measures. So do you think something like this can offset the on-chain metrics, that it will put a dent to the bull run that we may see at the end of the year?
Because people are scared? Is that why it would?
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that we all remember when the first instance of the pandemic hit and the market did drop in fear. Obviously, I don't think this is the same level of fear. I think by this time, a lot of people are kind of whatever. It's some people are whatever. Some people take it very seriously and obviously be serious about it. But I don't think it's going to scare the market too much. And the thing is, what it did after the initial scared period, after the initial week or two, was back in March 2020, it really made people just realized that the future is digital. All of a sudden everybody learned how to use Zoom, and it was really like helped make the bull case for Bitcoin and digital assets. So ultimately, I think I don't see how it's going to hurt it long term. I think it would help it.
So Austin, do you think something like this could happen? This is March of 2020. Okay, when pandemic was really in full swing, equity markets dumped, and we saw a massive 1 day, 2 day drop for Bitcoin, and then quickly recovered, like a V-shaped recovery. When I say quickly, it's not that quickly. I mean, it took 2 months, but relatively speaking. Do you think something like this could happen again?
Absolutely. In my opinion, everything could happen with Bitcoin. For example, the fundamentals were strong because we were near the low back then when it happened. And obviously, if the stock market crashes, then everything crashes. In the 08 housing crisis, gold crashed almost just as much as the stock market, but gold was one of the first to cover. A crash like that, though, won't change the fundamentals. And obviously, when we say fundamentals, it means the on-chain activity, but it also means people looking for, censorship-resistant, hard-capped monetary unit or store of value. Like that doesn't change. So that showed people, wow, the world's going to hell. Maybe I should allocate a small portion into something that no government controls. So I'm prepared for anything. If the stock market crashes, yeah, that could absolutely happen. But generally, I do agree with Aaron that it's not going to change the fundamentals.
Are you guys holding a certain amount of your portfolio in cash right now in preparation if something like this does happen?
I am not. I should have done that maybe a few months ago, but at this point, I guess I have a very small amount, but I'm not. If it did dip, I would have cash to buy, but not enough cash. It's like mainly Bitcoin is my stable coin, so it's like
I have maybe like between 5 and 10%, which isn't that much because I did buy this last dip. But in my opinion, you always want to have something because if you do get that capitulation like event, to me, I want to have something.
Yeah, it's like when a lot of times people say buy the dip, and then everybody always comments, probably just jokingly, but I don't have any more cash to buy the dip. Well, you don't have to go all in. It's like, I'm sorry if you went all in, but you can just buy $100, like $50. It's I actually think there's a strong chance that Bitcoin has bottomed or is close to bottomed. And I think of it like this. Say, if I could buy, or if anybody could, just for simplicity, one whole Bitcoin. If you could buy one whole Bitcoin today and it falls back down to 20,000, well, you lost about $10,000, $12,000, and it's probably going to go back up. But if you buy one whole Bitcoin today and it gets back to all-time highs, you made like $30,000. So I think we're closer to the bottom than the top.
I mean, that's exactly right. I think, for example, this, we all have lived through this. Well, at least us three, at least. Some people watching didn't, but there's a lot of fear. And had you sold at this point, because there was a lot of people at that time claiming that Bitcoin was going to fall back down to 1,000 or go to 0 or whatever, right? Even at today's levels, you would have missed out on 745% gains. So that's just a enormous amount to be left on the table, right? To be scared out, to be panic selling. So holding is definitely the way to go.
And by the way, during that pandemic crash of 2020, I remember you were still going live mainly every night, talking to the troops, rallying the public, just talking it through. And I love that. So I hope, I just think it's cool that it's a constant thing that people can tune into.
Yeah. I just want to address real quick. There's someone named Johnny that's giving a ton of super chats about Hero. We can look at that at the end. I promise to look at it because he's constantly sending super chats. But I want to get through the news.
That's a good problem
with the guys here.
Yeah, Johnny James, that's a cool name. Also, I want to, as long as we're doing super chats, Matt C tipped $10 a little bit ago. One of the best aspects of George's feed is the Q&A. This is for Aaron and Austin. Would you guys consider a live feed with super chats even once a week? Your insights are so invaluable. So Matt C appreciating, saying, George, the chat is such a huge part of your live streams, and asking us, You know, we always like live streams, but it's not really our main feature. We should do more, honestly. We kind of stopped for a while when like YouTube is like giving live streamers problems, but we should get back to it.
Yeah.
I would like to do that. I have no immediate plans, but that is a connection that I do miss, and we did used to do it a lot more.
You know, something else. Do you guys, this is off topic real quick, but do you guys, you know of like Meet Kevin and Graham and how they do like millennial money? You guys,
I know of them, but I don't know that thing.
Yeah, they just have like, you know, a chat with 4 guys that just talks about whatever. It's on a separate channel. You know, I was thinking about something like that. So just throwing that out there. If you guys want to do like a live chat kind of thing once a week on a different channel, you know what? Just throwing it out there.
I'm always open. Have you heard of Graham Stevens' iced coffee hour? I think that may be a similar thing.
That's Graham has like 5 different things. This is a separate channel called Millennial Money, where it's him and Kevin, Andre, and someone else that's on there.
The only thing that it seems like such a bear to like start a new channel. It's like, I would like to do that, but I would.
Or we could rotate between our channels.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Now that'd be something cool to do for sure.
All right. So moving on, let's talk about Cardano. Are you guys Cardano fans?
Hell yeah. We've been talking about Cardano forever.
Yeah, well, I enjoy covering Cardano. I guess you'd say I'm a fan, but ultimately, you know, I take it on a month-to-month, year-to-year basis. I'm a fan of Cardano right now because I happen to be bullish in Cardano in 2021. You know.
So what do you think about this? Because there's a lot of talk about flipping, like Ethereum might flip Bitcoin, but according to eToro, they already said their holders hold more Cardano than Bitcoin on their platform. Do you think that Cardano can flip Bitcoin someday?
So we're not even talking about ETH. We're talking about Cardano flipping Bitcoin. That's a good question, dude. You know what's so funny? And I was so surprised by this in the past in 2021. It's just like some communities, crypto communities, claim to have a strong grassroots community. Cardano actually does. I mean, like their grassroots community is super strong. We went to a wedding a couple months ago, and like we were friends with the groom, and the groom's father talked to us more about Cardano than he did about his son. And I attribute that to like Charles Hoskinson throughout the whole bear market. I mean, the thing is, he is a charismatic leader, super knowledgeable, always like he'll get on live streams, talk about anything, and really he'll answer any questions. No question is off limits. And I attribute it to him, like keeping the community informed in a way that everybody can understand. I mean, personally, I don't think Cardano is going to flip Bitcoin anytime soon. I would say it's probably never going to, but never say never. We can only talk about this cycle in the next 1 to 2 years. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Cardano has a lot of exciting things coming out in the next couple months. In less than 60 days, they will become smart contract compatible to fully compete with Ethereum. And is that a buy the news or buy the rumor, sell the news event? Who knows? I mean, the thing is, as long as Ethereum is like bullish, as long as people are building on Ethereum, it's interest people, which, Ethereum is like, this is Ethereum cycle to lose, in my opinion. As long as that is the case, these Ethereum competitors, I think, are going to do well, like Cardano, like Solana, like that stuff.
What do you, Austin, what do you think about, I don't know if you knew this, that 71.71% of all Cardano is staked in a pool?
I think that shows, like Aaron was talking about, the strong community of Cardano, but also it's because right now there's no smart contracts. What else are the people going to do besides stake it? So I think that shows how committed the holders are to the project, but also what else do you do with your Cardano?
I mean, that's true. What else do you do with it? But I also think like we cannot ignore that people are like, there is a huge interest in Cardano to be a part of the staking. Like people are genuinely excited to stake their Cardano, and 71%, speaks to that. And it's an exciting time in the cryptocurrency space. I mean, literally anything could happen. This is like 1997 in the internet times in the 90s, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think you guys make good points about Cardano. I mean, this just shows how strong the community is. Like, as for Charles, I know most people love Charles. But
by the way, somebody in the chat said that Charles' his YouTube channel got banned tonight. I don't know if that's true or not. Hopefully you'll get it back, Charles. Go ahead, George.
I'm sure he's going to get it back. Unfortunately, that's still ongoing because there's still a lot of scam, streams that go on. Whenever I see them, I try to report it. I think YouTube has a hard time determining what's real stream, what's not.
Live from sunny Colorado.
Oh, fan.
What do you guys, are you guys like 100% bullish on Charles Hoskinson, or do you like hold him accountable when he makes a prediction and it doesn't come true like this one?
I mean, I think you can look back at
Aaron has been critical of Cardano.
First of all, I was, full disclosure, any OG fan will know this, and I fully admit it. I was fudding Cardano at 2 cents. I should have bought it. I was the bear market got me. But you know, like I'm quick to recognize a trend change as soon as that like shot up and like it got around to the 60-cent area. I was like, oh damn, like this is. I think that's when like Gene Simmons started tweeting about it. I mean, the thing is, but like the reason it's hard, you know, sometimes it is hard to get like the real information because obviously the people who are working on the project want to talk about it in the best light. And Charles Hoskinson, it's not talking out of school to say the guy likes to hype up and kind of say all of this is coming sooner. And, you know, they end up just like all projects, they take their time. What is this one you're specifically asking us about or showing us? What is?
This is from a year ago where he claims that thousands of dApps will be running on Cardano by 2021. And people are calling him out on that, you know, so at least some people are. I
mean, like we see this all the time in crypto, and like all projects are different and all people are different, but it's just like you can like, that's why people love to like Bitcoin maximalists or any kind of maximalists just love to FUD the other stuff because you get all of these like the Ripple CEO going, oh, like 10 large banks will like incorporate XRP by 2018. Didn't happen. Charles Hoskinson in 2018 said, you know, by the end of the year, big things are going to happen. It happens. Vitalik, I mean, it's a meme saying that ETH 2.0 will be out by like 2020 or 2021. And, you know, obviously it gets delayed.
Just off topic. Are you guys fans of XRP?
I don't hold any. I will cover it, but I'm not personally a fan.
Like the thing on our channel, we'll talk about the whole entire market, but that doesn't mean we're going to evangelize the whole market. And, you know, sometimes it'll be, you know, I have to say, you know, I personally don't think here's the thing. If we started seeing significant banks adopting XRP, like they've been saying that's going to happen for years, then I would immediately change my tune. I'd be like, oh, okay, that there is reason to be bullish on this. And I would have to see I would have to see a trend change like that. It happened. I'm not going to get in the very bottom. I'd have to see a trend change and I get in near the bottom. But it's like, you know, Ripple sells the same software without the token. So you don't even need to use the token. A lot of the people who do use the token are like Ripple pays them, like MoneyGram, or invests in them. And then now MoneyGram told the SEC, oh, we actually never use it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, now that they're being sued by the SEC, I mean, I think there is a chance they could win the case since, you know, Ripple does hire a lot of, you know, SEC type people. But still, I mean, like, it's like they're not going to be a global reserve currency if they can't do business in America. And they can't do business in America until they win the SEC case. And then after that, we'd have to see bank adoption. So at this point, I'm neutral on it, but I think there's like a lot of reason to be bearish. But of course, we'll always cover it, you know.
Yeah, but you know, now you're starting to see banks like JP Morgan have their own chain that does the same thing, and even Goldman Sachs,
or even
now
like
using JP Morgan's chain too.
So yeah, the JP Morgan did basically the same thing with their own private chain, but like even in the past couple of years, just this explosion of stable coins we're seeing, which was not here last cycle. That it's like that's what's going to be used, like these, like USDC, who partnered with Visa, and now it's going to go public. I mean, like,
this is an interesting topic. So what do you guys feel about the Tether FUD right now?
I'm not sure if I know what they're saying lately on Tether. What are they saying?
The last big thing was New York Department of Justice. This is when I was following it a lot back then. This was maybe 6 months ago or a long time ago. The New York Department of Justice, and George, correct me if I'm wrong, in so many words, they cleared Tether and said, oh, they're not really an issue, or they stopped investigating.
Yeah, that's the positive thing. But the negative thing is, and Kevin brought this up, that I had to address because another channel, I think CoffeeZilla, also brought it up, and some other people have brought it up. If you look at the reserves of Tether, it's not backed one-to-one with cash. It's backed mostly with corporate bonds. It's like 65% of their reserves is corporate bonds, which they don't disclose from who? You don't know who it's from, right? And if those corporations go under, then basically 65% of Tether's reserves go under too. So that's the new scare, that they actually have very little cash, almost zero cash. I think it's 1% of their reserves is in cash.
1%?
Everything else is corporate bonds or some other kind of fiduciary note or something like that. So that's the latest FUD.
I mean,
you get caught
and
up.
by the way, that's true. Like they advertise their what it's backed by, and it's like 1% cash, or maybe it's 5% or something like that. So in my mind, it is like a ticking time bomb in terms of, I don't think U.S. regulation. Obviously, the New York Department of Justice didn't have anything on them because they didn't have enough evidence to convict. But when you see Tether and you see USDC, to me, it's a matter of time before the U.S. regulators say, well, we know what USDC is. This is the one to use. Everybody else in the USD list. That's my thing.
I mean, that's certainly a possibility because it's certainly not permissionless. I mean, if the regulators want to do something, they could. But like what people, I assume a lot of people in the audience know this, but for those who have only been in crypto for the past 6 months, it's like Tether FUD has been around for like years. It's like China FUD. It's like every year we hear something, and it really hasn't affected the market too much yet. So it's like legit just FUD. Not that something couldn't happen, and not that you don't bring up good points. And I guess finally, I'll just say, obviously it would scare the market initially, but if money were to flow out of Tether, where do you think it would go? I think it would go into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Or Ethereum, since it's an ERC-20.
Mostly Bitcoin, or like just like these higher caps that are going to be around for a number of years that are more permissionless.
Like right now, there is the Tether dominance for stablecoins is coming down, and USDC is going up. As far as I know, USDC is back 1-to-1 because they're backed by Circle and Coinbase, both regulated in the US. Circle is about to go public too, and they're quarterly audited by Grant Thornton, one of the big auditing firms out there. So USDC definitely seems a lot more legit, and they are being onboarded on like Tron now, of course, Ethereum, Stellar. I mean, they're going basically all the chains out there. So I think what's happening is people know that people are scared of Tether. So slowly the reserves is coming out to USDC. And hopefully this could just resolve by itself. If USDC just becomes a dominant stablecoin, then no more worries about Tether, right? So hopefully something like that happens.
True.
All right. Let's move on. I was going to talk about banks, and I'm just going to skip that since we talked about so many things, and we could take some questions too. Real quick, what do you guys feel about NFTs? Like, look at this headline: 2.5 billion of sales within the first half of 2021. What are your overall thoughts on NFTs?
I mean, that picture, I could do that picture. but I that's a little joke, because obviously what you're buying into is the story. What are they called? Remind me, I'm blanking.
CryptoPunks?
CryptoPunks, thank you. Obviously the story, they were the first sort of collection, one of the first NFTs. 2.5 billion in the first half of the year. I mean, that kind of does make sense to me if you're including, I mean, that's when we saw the FOMO. That's when NFTs had their little run. Not that it's over, but they had their first initial run, just like we had little DeFi summer with YAM token and stuff back in the day. That's crazy. I don't think NFTs are done, but that is a crazy number. I mean,
but actually, NFTs are definitely not done. You can say that any particular brands or many brands of NFTs are like Beanie Babies and that they're crap, but like NFTs in general are here to stay for sure. And what's interesting is, everybody in crypto is saying, oh, I wouldn't want to be holding an NFT right now, but like all these corporations, all these people with intellectual property, all these people with huge audiences and big fans are saying like, we're building NFT studios. We're getting $100 million in funding, like Fox Studios. And just like tons of movie studios are doing it. The thing is with NFTs, and like we interviewed Kevin Smith, director of Clerks, on our channel, and like he told us, he's like, I never really I know like somebody gave me some Bitcoin and I get it, but I'm just not really I don't care that much. I'm not a finance guy. It's like I get NFTs, and it's the same kind of thing we're seeing with Gary Vee, and just like the masses get NFTs, they get collectibles. And it's just like, I think that's going to bring a whole lot of people into crypto because people love it.
Yeah. I mean, look at this headline. Even CryptoPunk is landing a major art museum in Ohio.
That's where we're from.
Do you guys feel like, based on what he said, do you feel like a lot of people are just jumping in, creating something as a quick money grab, or do you really believe that they think NFTs is like an intellectual property that they can build upon?
I think I like what Gary. First of all, NFTs are more than just art, as we all know. They can be tickets, they can be in-game skins, and we're not even at that point where gaming people are using them for in-game skins. There's a lot of development, and there can be like functionality on NFTs. But just speaking from like what we're seeing with like art and just like stuff like that, I think like I think what's even more important than the picture is the community around it. And if there's like this is what Gary Vee says. He's like, I don't want to be remembered for like it being an NFT innovator. I want to be remembered for like how strong my community is. And I think if you have that strong community, and it can be based on a person, an influencer, Gary Vee, it can be around like a Disney movie, just something that speaks to people and will continue to speak for people, and people like there's this community around it. I think those are the NFTs that are going to like stand the test of time. And, as far as people buying any NFTs, I'm not like the guy who's trying to like flip NFTs, but, if you buy something that you actually like, that you want to like have that like digital signature on, probably a lot of other people are going to find that valuable too. And since you will like have rights to that, forever, probably, that's going to do well.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all the topics. Let's jump into Q&A, because unfortunately, guys, I missed a lot. But Cal asked specifically for you guys, towards you guys, what are your thoughts on liquidity pools? Sounds unbelievable and scammy.
Is that a specific token, or is he just talking about like Uniswap?
Just in general, liquidity pools.
I don't know enough. I mean, it's not my general area. I'm not a liquidity provider. I don't think it's. I mean, it's not
scammy. I mean, you provide liquidity and you get a little bit of the yield. And
it does nothing that like Uniswap has automated market makers. The innovation was in the traditional world, you have market makers. This sort of automated the process. So on its own, it's not scammy, but it is a new technology in a sense, and scams can happen.
So I take it you guys don't provide in liquidity pools, right?
I do not. Do you do that, George?
No, I don't. But a lot of my followers do.
Yeah, I got friends who do.
And they make a good amount just by doing so. But like for me personally, I still am a little wary, especially when you have liquidity pools that's providing 1,000, 2,000, 5,000% APY.
Well, those are the scary ones. Those are the ones that are like high risk, for sure. And like those are the ones you could make a lot of money. And you hear those stories of our friends saying like, oh man, I made so much money on this. But it speaks to just the fact we're in the wild west of all this stuff.
It's still it just basically says that we're really early, right? People are still trying to figure it out, trying to come up with new innovative stuff. But Austin, your picture just disappeared.
I think he did it on purpose.
I did not do it on purpose.
No, Austin did.
Oh, okay. Someone asked about Hero earlier. Next gen deflationary real utility token. I love how they had to add real in there, because if you don't add it, that means no one will take it serious, right? Be your own hero with our 3D technology. Scan and create 3D NFTs. Use Hero tokens, transact. All right.
This chat is so funny. People are like, Austin doing lines, be back soon. Austin is taking a toke.
Hey,
gotta stay awake.
That's how it is in here. Metal Hero. Okay, so there's a lot of people that are trying to show Hero. I mean, it looks fine to me, but it's a very early project. Let's scroll down a little bit. You guys can answer this one. What's up with DOT? Dumps harder, pumps weaker.
I mean,
Polka Dot.
Yeah, I think it's just did just launch this year, or maybe the end of last year. I forget specifically, but within the last year, and it's probably just. I mean, it was a new token, and it started in the top 10 because they had all these investors buy into the pre-sale. I'm sure it's just the unlocking phase of the pre-sale of early investors taking a little profit. So if that's why it's cashing hard, that could be a reason.
I own some DOT. I'm kind of bullish on it.
Shill, dude, shill.
Do you guys own Kusama at all, or just Polkadot?
Just Polkadot. Do you think I should own both? Like, what do you think, George?
I do think so, because Kusama is basically Polkadot. It's like a test net where they do everything on Kusama first. So all the parachains right now is happening. The auctions for parachain is happening on Kusama first. Then eventually when they're done, then they'll go auction off on Polkadot. But you need to win on Kusama first. And there's only going to be 100 parachains ever. So that's why I think Kusama right now is doing really well because of that. But afterwards, then Polkadot, I think, could gain strength. So I think AMP. You guys heard of AMP before?
I've heard of it. Obviously, there's a lot of people in our chat that like AMP. We haven't done a deep dive on our channel. I don't know, George, have you done a video for your channel?
I have. AMP is interesting. It's a collateral token. That's what I think most people don't understand. So there's a Flexa app, and the Flexa app is a general app that you could use to pay for things at retail stores, and you could use Bitcoin or Ethereum and others. And you know how like Bitcoin has a 10-minute settlement time. So somehow through their mechanism, they could use AMP instantly settle so that you don't have to wait there like 10 minutes waiting for the transaction to settle for Bitcoin. So it's actually used to speed up transactions and basically finalize them really quickly as a collateral token. But I think I covered them like a while ago. They're backed by Gemini. They got added on Coinbase recently, so they've been doing pretty good recently too.
George, let me ask you something, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is a common question, obviously. What is your cash out strategy? And I'll preface it by saying, like, we've been in crypto since the bear market, so we had like a lot of core positions probably taken out in the bear market, like Bitcoin and Ethereum for sure. And do you think, like, as we get to like what's seeming like nearing or probably closer to the end than the beginning, are you going to like scale out? Is there like, are you going to sell? Because that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm going to like at each, like, and I should have sold more on the last pump, quite honestly, but like 10%, and then like the lower cap ones, especially. Like, what is your cash out strategy? Like, how much? Like, obviously, I assume there's like a portion of your Bitcoin that you're not going to sell. Like, how do you think about it?
It's tough right now because I think all of us are thinking about it, but we're all thinking also that the bull run is going to continue, right? Which is why we haven't, at least I'm speaking for myself, and it sounds like you guys, that we haven't aggressively taken steps to take more profit out. But I think as we move on toward the end of the year, especially like September, October, November timeframe, when you start seeing things go up like exponentially higher, kind of like the tail end of 2017, when Bitcoin just shot up from 6,000 to 20,000 seemingly like within a month, and altcoins started skyrocketing like crazy, right? If we see that type of event happen, that I think shows that a blow off top is coming. Then it's time to get a little bit more aggressive with profit taking. But I think the strategy is, as we go higher, as we get back to 64,000 and beyond, right? It wouldn't be a bad idea to take out, say, 10% off the table every time Bitcoin goes up, say $10,000 or $15,000, and just take out 10%, take out 10%, take out 10% until you see something like, okay, now Bitcoin is jumping to 100 and 110, 120, 150. It's like it's going exponentially higher. That's when I think you'll see that blow off top and maybe be a bit more aggressive. But I do think that this cycle could be different than previous cycles because of all the big institutional buying, so that even if we do see a blow off top and we see it come down, it could be similar to what we're seeing now, where it could just be like a 50% drop. It does not necessarily mean it has to be an 86% drop like before. So in my opinion, if you could take out enough profits on the way up, right, and then just ride the rest, that's the best way to do it. I don't think you have to stick with any particular number, like I have to take out 50% before this time period or this amount. I just think you just slowly take it on the way up.
what percentage of your Bitcoin are you sure you're definitely not going to sell? Like, I'm definitely not going to sell. I'm going to keep 30% just in case because I'm so bullish. Is it 30, 10, 40? What do you think?
Based on what I have now,
Yeah.
I would say about 50% at the very least.
Aaron, maybe you want to address the super chat from Jay No One. He super chatted $10. I feel it's directed at both of us. I
didn't want to address it. No.
Directed at you.
You can read it.
Oh, he says, the bros, which I previously appreciated in their own uploads, have seemed really combative since the stream started. I think that's focused on you, man, because I've been pretty nice.
Oh, man, I've tried to be nice. I didn't mean to be combative. Just having a good time on Georgia's stream and just excited to be here. You know, got to get the nerves out.
And by the way, because I know Aaron, I know underneath, I know how maybe people like that super chatter, how Aaron comes off, but I know underneath Aaron is glad to be on the stream, glad to be talking with friends.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, it's crazy I even have to say that. That's why I'm here.
All right.
See, it's comments like that, Aaron, that make you sound like you're combative.
Nice, dude.
By the way, you know, speaking to what, you know, George said about what I was asking about, like, I remember in 2017, near the top in December, like Bitcoin was like rising up like $10,000 every day. It was like 9,000, then 10,000, 11,000. That was very impressive back then, $1,000 every day. Now Bitcoin moves $1,000 in a day all the time. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if as we get, you know, more towards the end of the cycle, obviously it's not going to happen the same way as 2017, but like seeing like 10,000 moves every single day, like I'm kind of expecting that.
You know, after we get past 60,000, I do think what we're seeing now may last for a while. And when I say a while, maybe a month or two. And I do think we may be stuck in the 30, 40,000 range and then slowly creep up to 50s and 60s. But, you know, I'm thinking that once we get back to 60 and start moving higher, it'll be like exactly what you said. We're going to start moving up by 10,000, like really quickly until we get above 100,000. And that's when we kind of reach the top, right? So I think toward the end of the year, we will see something like that too. Do you guys, here's a super chat. Do you guys know of crypto.com and what do you think about their NFT market and artists?
They used to sponsor us. We cover them obviously when they make news. I know they have an NFT platform, but I don't know the artists involved offhand, although I feel like they may have a famous one that made headlines for the past few weeks.
No, but they partnered with like Formula One or something. Like the thing is with crypto.com, they are a marketing machine. They're like aggressively trying to get a piece of the crypto market share. I mean, they realize people are coming into the space. You want NFTs? We got NFTs. You want a DeFi? We got DeFi. We got anything you want. We'll sponsor anything. And in that way, they're really good. Or they're really smart. I mean, I personally don't have an opinion, but it does not surprise me that they're like, they want to be the de facto NFT marketplace. And if they're going to partner with a bunch of big people, that wouldn't surprise me either.
They actually partnered up with USC recently, a huge deal, 10-year, 175 million. So
net positive, you know?
Yeah. What do you guys think about this? When you click on CMC and it shows you what's trending, and every single one is a meme coin. What do you think about that?
I'm a CoinGecko guy. I'll say it. Not bought by Binance, although I'm sure they're fine.
CoinGecko will be the same thing. You go see the same risk go up.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, like, what do I think that these meme coins are trending? It speaks to the fact that we are still in a bull market. I mean, it's just like, I hope people don't buy baby Dogecoin to think that they're going to invest in it. I hope people realize Safe Moon or baby Dogecoin, if that's what you're into, I hope you realize this is like a week thing. This is a month thing. This ain't a cycle thing.
What about mini Doge?
Yeah, mini Doge, cousin Doge.
Yeah, this scares me a little bit. You know, it scares me for a new person coming in and maybe getting confused. You know, I think it's fine, but I don't FOMO in.
It doesn't help that Elon is contributing to this too, and I call him Elon because a-hole plus Elon. That's why I call him Elon.
I thought you were going for like alien plus Elon, but you went for a-hole. Okay.
Kryptonian asks, so NFTs are just JPEGs or bitmap pictures, or can they be physical No, they're digital.
But it is kind of cool. They are digital, but it is kind of cool when you get like the artist who does the, the real life thing and then makes an NFT version. And so you can like own the real life thing and then own the digital verifiable NFT version. Not that, I mean, anything could happen, obviously, but I just think that's a cool thing. I think I would like be maybe more interested. I think people are going to be more interested if they can get like the physical piece and the NFT piece. I think that trend is here to stay. And I think, there is value in that because honestly, I like physical stuff too.
All right, guys. Over an hour. I think let's wrap it up.
Let's do one or two more questions and we'll call it a night.
Here's a question for you. Mini Doge is a legit team. It's Dev6 team, and they did Cream Pie, which is a project I refuse to look at. Did you see the AMA? Go look. Obviously, none of us have seen that AMA.
So what's going to be in the AMA? Is that they have developers? I guess that's a huge differentiator in the baby coin community, but...
And the thing is, if they just created a project called Cream Pie, why are they creating another project, right afterwards? Which means they basically gave up on their previous project. I mean, what's the deal with that? What do you have plans to pass your crypto on to your family? Asked Mass Ninja.
Taking it with me.
I don't discuss my personal stuff like that.
The thing is, maybe when it gets more, when I'm thinking about that, and I'm 60 or something, then I hope there's more infrastructure set up. I know that there are companies now that do offer that. It's like a multi-sig thing where the lawyer has a key, you have a key, and a family member has a key, and you need 2 keys to unlock that Bitcoin. But I'm not thinking about it now. I'll take it with me.
By the way, guys, make sure you subscribe to our channel for daily news videos. George will post the link in the description sometime.
You know what? Yeah, I sure will. And I'll bring it up in case people...
Oh, holy hell. 5,500 people watching? That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. But it's sometimes, during last few months, been a little bit higher. But this is definitely good.
Well, I'm saying within the past month, dude, that's really good.
Yeah. So here we go. Your latest video, top 9 sleeping giant cryptocurrency altcoin projects, best DeFi investments 2021.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. The content is good.
All right. Great work, guys. I have many friends interested in entering the space after seeing my success. Do you have any advice? They're so interested in shit coins, like I guess the meme coins we just talked about.
Or even lower cap coins that are like utility coins, probably, that seem like they have, marketing teams that say they're revolutionary. I mean, dude, I agree with you. I tell all my friends that if people are not going to follow the market every day like us, I just tell them buy Bitcoin, buy ETH, maybe 10% of your portfolio and whatever you like. And that's good enough. Each altcoin you take on is more risk. Now, people who follow the market every day, it's a little bit different. But there are plenty of, S coins out there. And it's also people in the last 6 months, don't know, they haven't experienced a real bear market, and they don't know that these coins can just keep dropping and new altcoins are going to pop up in the next cycle. So here's the thing, what I do, always realize profits. If you can take out your initial investment, great. If you can get a percentage above your initial investment, that's great. And then you can keep that bag of that coin that you think might be a moonshot, all while you've realized profit. So it's really taking all risk off the table. I mean, that's something I do now.
Last super chat. Jay No One says, Aaron seems to be channeling Richard Hart, not in a good way.
No, I see. I'll. This is classic Aaron. If you're coming on our live streams, this is my brother in the flesh. For years.
I don't even know what that means. What do you think that means?
I don't know.
It means you're holding court, talking about mini doge.
It means you're a socialist. All right, that's what it means. So be careful. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on to the show. This was very enjoyable. So again, everyone else is watching, make sure you check out Altcoin Daily for daily news updates. And hopefully you guys could come back on, or maybe we could do something together, like that thing I was talking about, where we could just get on and just chat about anything.
Dude, we'd love to come on again. This is so fun, man. Huge fan of your channel. Like this guy is given alpha, in a space where alpha is needed. So good job by you, Cryptos R Us.
All right.
And by the way,
thanks again. Thanks again, guys.
And George will be on our channel this Sunday. I want to see a lot of you guys there. All right, cool.
Yes. As soon as you guys post it, I will retweet that. So, all right. Thanks to everyone for joining. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.